Everybody, and welcome to the accounting party. This is an introduction to accounting part 12. We're recording dividends. Now, dividends is the way we give back to shareholders. So we pay a dividend, we're giving them money back. Once they, it's really up to the company to do this. Dividends are not mandatory. It's up to the board of directors of the company to decide to pay a dividend or give back to the shareholders. Dividends are not an expense. What dividends are going to do is they're going to reduce retained earnings. What are retained earnings? Go back to the video on chapter part 4. What it is, it's what the owners keep. I've got my revenues minus my expenses, which will hopefully give me net income, right? So my retained earnings are going to be my beginning plus my net income minus my dividends are going to be giving me my ending retained earnings. Over here, recorded with a debit. Think about it. If I'm giving cash, my cash is going down. So I'm going to be going through and showing that with a credit. So over here, again, retained earnings, it's the net income minus the dividends. All right. Okay, so right over here, we've got our assets equals our liabilities plus our owner's equity. Our nation's capital, where crazy stuff always seems to happen, is Washington, D.C., or debit credit. What we've learned just now in these last two videos is we're going to be recording expenses with debits and revenues with credits. Liabilities and owner's equity typically have credit balances. They're increased with credits, decreased with debits. Assets typically have debit balances. They are increased with debits, decreased with credits. Now, when it comes to dividends, I don't have a really good way in terms of showing it to you other than something like DD, like Dungeons and Dragons, debit dividends, right? I don't know. But let's think about that. If I'm paying cash, though, to my shareholders, what's going to happen? Well, if I'm paying cash in the form of a dividend to my shareholders, my cash is going to go down. So over here, if I'm paying 30 grand on April 1st, my cash is going to be credited over here for 30,000 bucks. So this is on 4/1/22. Now, for every credit, I need a debit. Now, remember, with a dividend, it is not an expense. Rather, it's giving back to the shareholders, and it's going to reduce our retained earnings. So over here, I'm going to debit dividends on 4/1/22. And that's how I'm going to go through and record a transaction if I have a dividend, right? Dividends are not required to be paid. The company can elect to do them whenever they want to do it. We'll talk about that in later videos, but for now, I just wanted to introduce you to dividends. Wasn't that exciting? And anyways, thank you. Please leave any questions you might have below. And I appreciate you liking and subscribing to the series of videos or to my channel. Very much appreciated. Have a great day.